I'm in Bree. Let's see. That's a dwarf. Are you an elf? No, you're a hobbit. You're a man.
Did you just mistake a hobbit for an elf?
Well, the hobbit is standing on a chair. I didn't realize that at first. I was like, well, that's a really flamboyant and ostentatious suit of armor. It must be an elf. No, wait, it's a hobbit on a chair. Never mind.
Welcome, everyone. This is Piney Needles, and you're listening to LOTRO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in LOTRO and here at LOTRO Players. And this week we have with us Ending,
Hey, everybody.
Terry Adwin,
Hi,
Maven,
hey y'all.
Corvette.
At your service and your families.
And now let's head into our game news for this week. We have a build on Bulwer, not for the next update, but for some tweaks.
Terry, you got this one.
Sure. I don't actually have patch notes up, but the gist of it is they're testing some things to hopefully improve performance in large groups, so like raid and higher type groups. But initially for PvE, but they're hoping it'll be able to roll out to the Moors so that you can have like raid versus raid in the Moors. And then a couple of what they're calling buffs to creeps, which the first response to the not quite patch notes is a freep calling foul, like, are you gonna buff freeps, when not apparently didn't know or care or pay attention to the fact that they've done nothing but buff freeps for the last 2 updates and done zip for creeps. And it's not even really a whole lot of boosting for freeps. It's some tiny percentage boosts to base numbers, which are fairly low stats to begin with, which I don't think a lot of people realize if you don't actually play a creep, that when they're talking about a percentage boost, they're talking about the base number, which is not modified by any kind of trait or whatnot. So what may sound to some people like a significant boost is not actually much of a boost.
And even if these boosts were like an actual 10% boost across the board, that's still not what creeps need.
It's still not going to get them anywhere close to being balanced.
Because they haven't been balanced since at least like Riders of Rohan Helm's Deep time. So
yeah. I mean, you have to remember that creeps don't have trait trees. Creeps don't have imbued weapons. Creeps don't have essence gear. In fact, 2 creep classes don't wear gear at all. You have spiders and wargs who don't wear armor, guys. Don't carry weapons. So, yeah. There's plenty of stuff that freeps get that creeps don't. So, a little bit of a boost that's not really much of a boost.
And yeah, Barnabas in the chat does say that update 15 they got a huge buff. Yeah, I forgot about that. They did with update 15, and so you know it's still been well over a year since they've gotten any kind of buff really. So it's nice to see that they're finally getting something at least. But,
well, I know specifically updates 18 and 19 had nothing whatsoever for creep. Because there was a little bit of something. Not much of anything, but a little bit of something, at least mentioned in patch notes in 17.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't balanced then, though. It hasn't been balanced since at least
not
update
been balanced
15.
in a long, long time.
Yeah. So anyway, hopefully this is just the beginning of changes and balancing in that area, and hopefully things will continue to get better.
But freeps who go into the patch notes and decide that the first response needs to be them complaining about how much it's a boost and how they need to buff freeps can go home, or just eat whatever hate the creep players are going to give them.
You know what would be nice? If PvP players would understand that the only time PvP should come before QQ is when you're alphabetizing things. But it seems to be ingrained in everyone's brain, or in many people's brains. That's just what you do. I'm like, oh, come on.
Or even better, if people would, actually try to have things be legitimately balanced so it could be more fun. That would be nice.
All right, let's head into store sales.
Oh, must we?
Yeah. Yes.
So this week's sample is the Skill and Slayer Deed Boost ×1. Use coupon code SLAY to skill, 1 time per account, and 20% off a bunch of junk you shouldn't buy. Regen food, run speed boosts, and 5% attack damage.
Still better than an LI sale.
I don't know. I'd be prepared to say that they both equally suck.
Yeah. Let's head into our LOTRO Players news site. And let's begin with our community events for November 4th through November 10th. And anything catch anybody's eye?
Hobnanigans was today, so they had Hobnanigans League stuff.
I like Hobnanigans because you get a free port debris map.
Yeah, there is that.
I usually carry one of them around when I'm not playing on a character that's got a hunter or traveling buddy because it's just way too convenient to have it, just in case you need it.
I guess I just have a bad habit of selling the maps.
Well, you play a bunch of wardens. You're not ever really stuck for ports.
Yeah, but when you're kind of in a more free-to-play / premium mindset and you don't have all those fancy swift travels, that port debris from a map is really nice.
Well, I thought the Hobnanigans port was to some way out of the way place.
No, it's to
the Hobnanigans field.
Like
you're like 30 seconds away from the swift travel to the Bree port from the fairgrounds.
They've got that horse at the festival grounds now at Bree.
Which is great when you're like in the bowels of Moria, or you're like way off in the backwoods of Mirkwood and you forgot something in your vault and you just want to go grab it real quick, like I did this morning.
But Pineleaf, there is an event that's coming up called the 8th Annual Great Elven Ball, which sounds like a Carvet ad in the making, which awaits everyone on Laurelin November 21st, and basically it's an Elven-themed event, so they do prefer that the attendees are of the Elven race.
Oh, we prefer it.
Yes, it is preferred, Master Pineleaf. And though other races are still welcome to attend if they can provide an explanation at the gate.
Shipwrights of Sindar, Brothers of Nodor, Remnants of Nandor, Avery, and Quindy alike. Hear ye. Oh, good.
Well, that doesn't sound
pretentious.
No, no pretension in that at all.
And elves.
It's not like it was written on a particularly pretentious piece of parchment or anything. I mean, good grief.
Yes, and the elves are cordially invited. Yes.
But no, we are making fun of this event. But seriously, this sounds like a pretty cool event, and I do recommend
if you
people
like
on
elves,
the
sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
If you're not a fan of elves, probably find something else to do with your time.
Here's the disclaimer. Please remember that this is an elven party, and non-elves who are not invited exclusively may only join via the consent of Lord Veriacano at the gates.
So in other words, the Elven bouncer.
Yes. You must present your documentations, your pedigree papers, and your proof of nobility to Lord Vericaro at the gate, or you shall be forthwith and henceforth barred from entry, you lowly swine.
Of course, an Elven bouncer has to be of royalty. I mean, that's just in the making.
Absolutely.
I didn't think LOTRO elves had royalty.
Yeah, and seeing how they are seeing that it starts at 4:30 in the afternoon server time, it is visitors from the other side of the Atlantic who happen to have characters on Laurel and need not attend because they're too busy at work.
Well, it's definitely not going to be my kind of party because it says weapons are not allowed throughout.
Yeah.
This is obviously not for the dwarves.
Yeah.
Ladies are required to wear a dress. Gentlemen elves are required to attend without armor. Well,
Without armor, uniformed halberds
Halbergs
or
or elegant robes are the
robes
most
are
fitting.
Yes.
Well, most of the robes in LOTRO are quite form-fitting, so that makes sense.
Okay.
I think the fact that we're still having to talk about this says a lot about the event. So.
I'll bet you it is going to be the social art event of the year.
No, it's the 8th annual one. I think it'll be really good. We do have a breaking news update, Carve. If you want to do like the news wire music real quick. Yes, this just in. Cordovan is actually at $2,922 for Extra Life right now, which is fantastic. He's doing his Extra Life stream, and so especially if you're in the live chat, and I think you can still donate even after his stream is over. So feel free to go over and donate to Team Turbine. That's for a really good cause, and do recommend doing that.
Yeah, I saw him earlier on LOTRO. Was he doing multiple games today, or was he just doing LOTRO all day?
He's on the LOTRO stream. I would
think
imagine
it's just LOTRO.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was wondering if maybe he flipped over to DDO or something at some point, but that would make sense.
That's a good point. I don't
No,
know if he might do that.
No, if he does a Movember event, it's probably going to be for DDO. But since Extra Life, he's doing with LOTRO.
That makes sense.
All right, then let's head into LOTRO video highlights. The Swan Ships of Aqualonde.
Yes, finally, this is another video by John DiBartolo, and he put it up on the Real Life Lonely Mountain Band's YouTube channel, and it's just a great music video. He hasn't done one of these in a while, and it's nice to see him return to it, and there's just some absolutely beautiful shots of the new housing area put to music. It's really cool.
Very cool.
Very nice. So let's head into the Femi line, part 107. Skills that were lost. What? Does that mean it was a one-use only recipe?
Well, my thing is, whenever I think of skills that were lost, it's Mrs. Carve going, "Dang it! I drew a skill off the toolbar. Which one was it? I needed that." So, I'm sure that it's probably referring to some kind of awesome craft that is no longer around, and it's a very moving and touching story. It's just not the context I get from the title. Sorry, Tim.
I probably shouldn't tell Mrs. Carve. I never have that problem.
She's like, "Well, good for you." Basically, that's how she would respond to that.
And then Carve shows her a pic of a spider, and everything's forgiven.
Yeah,
Not for Carve, though.
We're going to Mirkwood. Stop it, Joe.
All right. And then the critters decide to go down, down, down in Gollum Town.
Wait, there's a Gollum town? I didn't realize that Gollum had his own town now.
Apparently so. That's what the
Yeah.
critters think.
Interesting.
Didn't you hear he became the Great Gollum?
The Great Gollum.
Ah, the great Gollum.
The fact that any of you laughed at that, it makes me sad, actually.
It's been that kind of week for me. I'm sorry.
All right, let's head into the new player question.
Okay, so the hard-hitting question this week is Finesse. What's it good for?
I know. I totally got this.
You know the answer to this?
Finesse is what you need.
If you're a
to
pretentious elf.
Dang, you were stealing my thunder. I was going to say, finesse is what you need to convince an elven ball gatekeeper that you are worthy of coming in, whether you're an elf or not. You need considerable finesse.
Okay.
Honestly, that's a question I've had before. I know it has something to do with how effectively you are as a player character hitting a target that has like resistances to your weapon type or something. It usually, I don't think it comes into play until like after Warrior, right?
Well, finesse is a stat. that that you have. Usually, it's something that basically reduces a boss's stats is what it does. I don't know, it's no one I've never paid too much attention to, but it's usually something that is used mainly against bosses because of the way the mechanics work.
I think it's important on the Moors too, because it somehow it like makes it so that you can hit something with high resistances and high defensive properties better. You penetrate mitigations better with finesse.
Right, and so Maven, it sounds like it's one of those things that even people who've been playing this game for 9 years don't know the answer to.
What it's good for. Well, and we get it also, we get it as like stats with gear and whatnot. We also get those tomes of finesse, like with Hobbit gifts and stuff. And I know, like when I go into like if I'm in a fellowship and I'm going into like some fight or something, I'm never sure whether I should click on that or not in my inventory. Gee, I haven't used this. It's a Hobbit gift. Maybe I should use it now. I don't know. I guess maybe based on what you're saying, it sounds like right before a boss fight would be a good time to pop one. I don't know. I should try it and see if it makes any difference.
Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, let us know how that goes.
Yeah, I'll let you know how that goes.
Let us know how that goes for you.
Yeah, it made such a difference. All right, well, that was good. Thanks. That really cleared that up for me.
There's mud. We got this.
Clear as mud, yes. I'm sure someone will be leaving a big, long explanation.
Have we had anybody in the chat room say anything about it? Well, there's always experts in the chat
not really.
room. No, interesting. That's interesting.
I think that...
Yeah, maybe someone will leave a response in
on the show.
Or send us an email.
Yeah, send us an email. We'll report on it in a future episode. Yes.
Right, telling us why we're all ignorant because we remember exactly what finesse does.
Because we're not elves, yes.
Because we're not elves. Stupid human. Let's head into our week in LOTRO and ending. What were you doing when not being insulted by elves?
Yes, well, I was not making fun of elves because I'm afraid of their wrath, but this week I did stream with Bloodborne, and that was a lot of fun. We missed last week, but we turned back again this week and made our way through the majority of the Lone Lands, and had a lot of fun just remembering those type of quests and just going through and killing all the things. We had actually a raid of players that were just like steamrolling through the landscape this week, so that was a lot of fun. The most people we've had in game on one of these streams, so that was pretty cool. Also, I did a super annoying instance. And
annoying instance.
The reason it's super annoying is because it completely bugged out. Because if a particular Rohirrim NPC dies in this particular instance, which is not mentioned on the quest text, so you're supposed to be able to let them die according to quest text.
Let them die.
But if they do die, it will actually glitch out the whole instance because they will not be around later to mount on the steed that apparently they have to mount on later on. And so if they die, it actually completely glitches out the instance to where you can't complete it, which is super annoying. And the DPS in this particular area, if you don't pull things properly, or if the NPCs get way out of line to where one just runs way forward but the other two are still killing like 25 other enemies, it can get really difficult to keep those Rohirrim alive. And also keep yourself alive. So I probably did 4 or 5 attempts on this instance in the March of the King area, and it was a lot of trial and error, but eventually made my way through it and continued on through Osgiliath questing, which was not that much better. And
I'm trying to remember what instance that was now.
That sounds like an instance I'm about to do.
It might be.
I've done it, but through that area. I wonder what instance that was.
It's like one of the last ones at Pelennor Fields, I think. So.
Oh, okay.
I didn't have any trouble with any instance. Pelennor
I dimly
Fields.
remember.
Yeah,
back
it's with
there.
Elfhelm, and you're trying to retake this place. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
With
Okay.
Elfhelm trying to retake a place in Pelennor Fields. Well, I
Yeah.
guess
Yeah.
it's like
I
off to the north in that area.
okay. I tried to think whether I missed it or whether
Maybe
I didn't
Piney
see
didn't
it.
do that instance.
Or maybe I didn't see it as difficult. Oh well.
Yeah. Well, it seems from the forums that this only is a problem for champions or AoE type classes, because they get the aggro of everything, and so it causes more issues because of that.
Oh, that's
So-
right. And since I was doing it on a ward, maybe it's not too much of a problem on wards.
But yeah, this was definitely not just a me thing. There's a huge thread about it on the forums, so hopefully Turbine will either update the quest text to say that everybody needs to stay alive, or will, fix it to where they don't.
I know Terry Adwin's response for that one.
Don't do AoE.
Yeah, I was going to say play Redline, yeah.
That makes sense.
Well, this was in Redline, so...
Oh, that wasn't Redline. Oh, well, never
Why don't you keep
mind.
hitting Xing Xing? Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah. So, also this week, in much happier news, I reached 1 million views on YouTube!
Woo!
Woohoo!
Yeah, it only took 4 years and 2 months to the day. So, but was able to reach it, and I'm so excited and looking forward to the future. The channel's just grown so much, and big thanks to everybody that's helped make that possible. So, Carv, what have you been up to?
Well, let's see here. This week I was fortunate enough to not be sick or stuck with work, so I was able to stream a little bit with Mrs. Carv. She decided to roll another hunter, because that's what she does. However, I think this one had a particular desire that there was some folks who have bell-themed screen names who wanted to have the Bells of Lotro. So I helped her roll another bell, and because I was being like that, I rolled a character who was a parody of a famous bell, except instead of naming my male hunter Tinker Bell, I named him Tinka Bro, because I was just being like that. But yeah, we goofed around for a couple hours just on new characters. She accused me of cheating because I was using a XP booster simply because I wanted to catch up to her. But she's like, whatever. It's like, some people consider XP boosters cheat, others don't. I was using it for the practical purpose of just catching up to her level, and I turned it off whenever we caught up. But tomato, tomato.
When you said famous Belle, I was thinking of Belle from Beauty and the Beast.
Oh no, it's a different Disney Belle.
A different Disney Belle.
Yeah, Tinka Bro. So yeah, because every time I look at don't want to kill him. Whenever I look at the original, what do you call it? The original hunter outfit you start off with, it looks like a very Tinkerbell type outfit to me.
It kind of really does.
And so every time I roll a hunter, and I decide whether or not I want to keep that outfit, I kind of giggle just if I want to make like a short blonde-haired individual. And so this particular guy he's a human, so he's a lot taller, but he's got short blonde hair and a goatee, which is what he's Tinka Bro. But I digress. I also I've had a lot of fun playing my Lore Master in Mirkwood, running around on my free-to-play stream on Saturdays. I went and redid Tower Morvith again, because I don't think I've done it in like years. A few things in there I remember like vaguely from when I did it on my Guardian like 4 years ago. That was a lot of fun. One thing I forgot though is there's a lot of Elite Masters in there. They're the rare spawns that you don't see in higher areas. And when I'm on my Lore Master and I'm just pulling stuff and burning it up, I'll go, why won't this guy die? Oh wait, that's an Elite Master. More crowd control, I'm fine. On other characters, I would be like, I'm gonna die, and run around like a chicken with my head cut off. There's a few of those fancy roaming threats I've run from, but otherwise it's been pretty fun. Terry Adwin, how's your week?
Well, I joined Eldoleth in the Moors on Monday for her Halloween stream. Didn't go very well. Due to the fact that creeps haven't been buffed in 2 updates plus, yeah, it went not all that well at all. And I'm reluctant to go back out there, but I have a goal to accomplish, so eventually it's gonna have to happen. I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and just go. In better news, my roomkeeper Lucillian, who's been running around with Sans Window, reached level 100. Woohoo! Finally!
Sweet.
So that's my third character on Landval to reach level 100.
Nice.
And Arkenstone Terry is almost done with the Eastern Rohan bit of the Volume 3 Epic story. So she's really close to getting kicked out of Edoras. Maven, how was your week?
Well, I finally got around to finishing the latest epic book. One of the things about having been on Bull Roar and sort of reading ahead, I wasn't in that much of a hurry because I knew what the epic book was going to be about. So I was kind of taking my time through Northern Osgiliath. In fact, I got up to the Camp of the Host of the West way sooner than I had expected to. But that was okay, because then after I finished the book, I practiced my very cool new emote a whole bunch of times. Probably made a complete nuisance of myself to everybody running around the camp. I got the Host of the West Kindred and finished everything in North Ithilien except for Care Andros, because my glass cannon can't get past the team of twin Black Arrows and the Hairgrim Archer. Boo-hoo! So I got to wait until I can find somebody to go with who's like either a mini or a guardian or somebody to get in there. And I got
Thanks, Maven.
What?
Notice
what?
you didn't say champion.
Well, you're not there, so I mean, you're not up there. So
No,
I
not
don't know
yet.
any other champions that are up there. I got my only farming and cooking and festival berg up to 56. So that was at the end of the fall festival. He's up to 56 now, just through those.
That's really cool. So it's just festivals and crafting.
Yep. Well, an Ale Association, which I have to admit, that's probably the biggest XP.
Wow, there's a lot of
creation.
XP to be had when you're running around doing festival quests.
That's true, and also the brie, getting drunk in brie every day helps a bunch. Lots of XP, lots of XP from getting drunk in brie every day.
What did you do? I leveled in being a wife.
It's especially fun because you know that table where it starts in the prancing pony is like a favorite for the RPers. So I
Nice.
show up there, you know, and I slug down a bunch of beers, you know, and then I show back up completely drunk after I'm done with the circuit, and they're still sitting there, and I'm like, you know, maybe during festivals it would be a good idea if y'all went to like another table. Anyhow,
That's great.
Pine Leaf, how about you, Pine Leaf?
All right. During the Academy trip on Arkenstone, our group decided to head into Sarnor so that we could get some rep with the dwarves of Thorn's Hall. And I finished up with some... Oh, that's right. I didn't quite make enough in order to get the Kindred, so I stopped by the skirmish camp and bought a few clickies and finished the work on there. So now I have a port to Thorn's Hall, and of course I've got the goat so that we could have it when we head into Mori. And then on Crick Hollow, I continued questing in North Ithilien. And on Gladden, my Bjorni continued doing the side quests at the pavilion at the Pelennor Fields. We currently have 23 supporters on Patreon. If you would like to join this illustrious rate of players to help support LOTRO players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. You will find rewards, including a mention on a podcast of your choice, or even be a guest with us here on LOTRO Players News. And Andy, you really want to push this, right?
Yeah, we recently have a lot more fees on the Players Alliance just because podcast hosting has recently gone way up because of some things that have happened lately. And so all of a sudden we're having to pay a lot more for our podcast hosting. So we could really use some Patreon support right now. If you guys can pass it our way, we'd really appreciate it.
And now, if we had any emails, we would read you some, but unfortunately we don't have any. So therefore, we would like to encourage you to send one to podcast@lotroplayers.com. Perhaps you might want to talk about how we know absolutely nothing about Finesse.
Or how we should not make fun of elves in the next episode. You know, send
I'm
those emails.
Definitely expecting some hate
Yeah.
about how much we hate elves. I'll be disappointed if we don't get it, guys.
So basically, people are tired of us casting shade on Lothlorien.
Oh.
I miss him when he's not here, though.
You can also follow us on Twitter, the Players Alliance at Players Ally, Lotro Players at Lotro Players, Ending at Ending LP, Carvette at Carvette LP, Maven at Tolkien Maven, Pineleaf at Pineleaf Needles, and Terry Adwin at Terry Adwin. The Players Alliance has 4 live shows. They're every Monday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. We have DDO Players News. On Thursdays at 9 p.m.-ish U.S. Eastern Time, we have XP Quest. Every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Lotro Players News. And on the last Friday of each month at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Lotro Academy After School. You can join us for our live shows at lotroplayers.com/live. Thank you, everyone, for listening. And this is Pineleaf News reminding you to skirmish responsibly.
I like how we still are going away from this episode without knowing what Finesse actually does. But whatever it does, it's Elven.
Whatever it is, the elves have it.
The elves have it, yeah.
The elves have it. That's like a great episode title. The elves have it. What is it? We don't know, but they got it.
They got it.
Whatever. Maybe there's a sound
Whatever
for
it
that.
is, the
I don't
elves
know.
have it.
Is there like an ointment for that? I don't know.
The elves have it. Well, I don't want it. Can I get a sound?
Can we give it back?
Take it back.